Hi guys, welcome back to my build of the 5-foot Millennium Falcon replica miniature. I had a few call outs, people asking me a few questions about a few things I've been doing lately. Thought I'd go over that and just explain it and show you and yeah, just call it out how I did things and whatever. Yeah, so first up, I'm basically going around the ship adding all the chipping that I've sort of put off. I'm not doing it section by section. Some I did, like all the mandibles here. I've added all the chipping, but there were sections like the radar quarter I never did. So as you can see, all this chipping here has been added now, and just the odd detail like I've totally forgotten about, like this pipe. That's been added now. It's so easy to overlook all these details as you're finishing up a project, but I've got a check sheet of what's there and what I need to add yet to finish. So of course this radar, the whole radar assembly's got to be dropped in there. If I come around the ship to this, back to the radar quarter. Yeah, so yeah, all the chipping. Now I've gone with mostly 0.75 millimeter. I think that looks better than 1 millimeter to match the styrene plating. It just looks better to my eye, and I think overall they used both thicknesses. Like over in this side, there was definitely a mix of the two of 1 millimeter and 0.75, but I've called that out, but mostly I like the 0.75, so I've gone with that. But yeah, I guess it's just me. I like that, so I've gone with it. But yeah, so I've had a few questions after I posted pics about this blast damage and the kit part that I've dropped in there. People are saying that it's not there. I've just made that up. Well, I haven't. It's actually in there if you look at close-in reference of that area, which are very hard to come by because it's, with all the paint and everything, it's a dark area. It's a deep hole to get into for photographic reference. But they weren't holes like all the way through as I had them. There are, like this one here has gone right into the dome, but it hasn't gone all the way through like this one. But that one did, so it had to be backed up with wood behind it and styrene for around the walls. Same with there. You can just see the styrene in there, and the wood underneath, and there's like a little hole there, tiny little ones like here. But if you look right down into here, let's focus, that is one little sliver of a casting off the jaw box, which you've got like the Harrow, where are we? You've got the Harrow locomotive engine bit, and I think that's either Mustang or Hurricane in there. But I think that was a plate that they pushed in from behind and glued in place, where I've chosen to take a slither of it and drop into the hole, and it pretty much looks exactly the same, the effect. So, but it's too big a hole not to just have it as a hole. It needs something in there, and that's why they did that. So but I'm happy with that. So I refined all that area more. Came up all right. Maybe just a little tad more refining with streaks like the blast marks coming out of the holes. I can just see those in reference pics. I've just sort of done little yeah, notches there. Well, not notches, just cuts and things with the Dremel. But I think that needs actually a lot more in there. It's just endless, guys. It's like you look in pictures and you just see more and more and more and more, and then you go back next day and it's like, oh man, there's just even more. So but I think I'll refine that more just before paint, probably when it's primed, and then go in more. Totally forgot about that kit part. Only discovered in reference again while looking at the chipping. I thought, oh man, there's that kit part. And then friend reminded me of this one. Forgotten about that as well. So yeah, it's just, this project's been so long that I'm just forgetting stuff. It's quite embarrassing really, but yeah, it's getting there. I'm not going to miss anything, hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, so that casting, yeah, actually, if I come down here, you can just, I don't know if you can see it there of this plate. It's this bit here that they dropped in. They might have put in a cut of this whole part and then dropped it in, but you only see this bit here, and that's what I've used. So yeah, pretty happy with that. One thing I haven't shown, I've started a while back, was I have chopped out the back for the engine cavity. So it looks pretty rough. It doesn't need to be neat looking or nice, because basically a styrene light box will be inserted into there following the curvature of the ship, the sidewalls, and strip lights, LED strip lights will be going in there. There's a bit of a mish to cut that out, but it's come up alright. I've just got to refine it some more. And the sidewalls will be added in. But that's I can really pleased with this, that I've got all this cavity in here to drop battery packs or whatever and feed lines through for the lighting, or wires, sorry, for the lighting, and then figure out how I'm going to connect it all up. But I've got plenty of room in there. Like this whole engine deck comes off, and I can get in from underneath, because all under the engine deck is going to be cut out from the dome to make it lighter. So yeah, plenty of room in there. It's amazing when I cut that out how much it altered the look of the ship from when you're looking at it at the side. It just took away like the profile of the end of the ship to make it look like, oh, it looks a lot more chunky now. It doesn't look elongated or stretched, because that was my worry of the ship. I thought my ship looked too flat, but it actually doesn't. When you take that out and you're looking at it from a side profile, it actually looks very good. And even when you've got this strip here and then the bottom strip, the gap in between looks pretty much spot on. It's not big or too slim, it looks just right. So yeah, still got to finish up this area. One thing I should say, I was lucky enough to, like, putting in the wood blocks behind and everything, I can reach in right from under there and get my hand right down in there and push stuff right to the back and glue it. So I couldn't quite, that's too shallow to get a hand in. It's just, that wasn't going to happen. So luckily there's a big cavity from around here, and I can get my arm right through down there and push that in. So that was fortunate. What else can we talk about? So yeah, there's chipping to be added everywhere, this section. That's all done. Actually, there's still a few more kit parts to put on here. A few more to put in that one and that one, I believe. Yes, I've done these two. Yeah, so I'll need to finish up that section there. The chipping on the engine deck. Finish the chipping here. Oh, there's a few, I've got to put in a few rods here and a few other bits and pieces for the top side, and then I'm going to flip it back over. Oh, and I've also got to put the mounting points or the hold down screws for the engine deck. You know, they sit under there. I think there's one down here somewhere, and they secure the engine deck to the hull. You can remove it and attach it at will to get into the lighting and whatever you need to. Yeah, I think actually there's a few bits to add on, maybe other docking ring. So all this walking around is reminding me of stuff that I still need to do. Yeah, attach the guns. I'm still toying with only actually having one gun, or maybe both. But I did think of damaging the secondary gun, like underneath, like taking a blast hit, which might look pretty cool. Not totally studio accurate, but that could be my take on things. But yeah. So yeah, and then it's just, I guess, get underneath and do all that chipping. You can't really see too much under there, but yeah, that's all got to be done. Oh, and the cockpit interior, of course. So wanting to get this outside, finish this up, get this outside, put on the base primer, black, and then the reefer white. I can actually go ahead now and do some areas if I wanted to, like the gun turrets, the guns. Got to finish up the radar with all the attaching it to make it all swivel and rotate and everything, and then drop that into the radar base well. So yeah, it's just always something. Big checklist of what I've still got to do, what I've checked off. So yeah, sorry it's been so long, guys. I had COVID back along, so that was just getting over that with energies and things. Yeah. So, okay, thanks guys. Take care and see you next time. Cheers.